going on, everybody? Figure I'd come on and do a video. Don't mind me, I'm in my PJs. Regular guy, remember? Not a politician, not a CEO thug. Just a regular guy. And it's Sunday, so kiss my ass. So anyways, 34,000 people, scientists and doctors, are going against our leaders. Right now they're going around the world. They're trying to get as many signatures as possible to stop these leaders because what they're doing is illegal. There's all their restrictions and all this lockdown, and there's nothing scientific about it other than they just want to keep spending our money. And now they're just basically doing it to our face. Basically what they're doing. Look, Halloween went by, went outside, handed out candy. My boy handed out candy. Everyone was thanking us for handing out candy this year. And I'm thinking in my head, well, I guess Ford was wrong, huh? But anyways, that's what we expect from our leaders. We don't expect them to be right anymore. We expect them to be wrong all the fucking time. And it trickles down. This is my main concern because you see, it trickles down to the other smaller branches. Take DPG for an example. In Quebec, one agent just got found prostituting. This is what I'm talking about. Like the CAS, DPG, the Ontario Service Ontario, and all that stuff like that. It all trickles down, man. So there's corruption throughout it all. This is why I keep saying there has to be someone normal to take that seat, because as long as we keep relying on these thugs, it's just going to be more corruption, more spending. And we're just going to keep getting left the bill. That's what it is. We keep getting left to flip the bill. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty tired of flipping the bill for these people. Which is why you got to put my name down. Why you got to vote for me. Think about that. 34,000 scientists and doctors are rising up against the politicians. Think about that. If you're not awake yet, I just want you to stop and think about that for just 2 seconds. 34,000 individuals, men, women, he, she, it, that, whatever. They're all rising up because they're tired of it. They're tired of their good name being run through the dirt. Oh yeah, they said this, they said that. No, we didn't say that. That's what they're doing now. They're standing up against it all. Look at Ford's own top guy. The guy he's been listening to this whole time. Now all of a sudden he's making nothing but mistakes. Yeah, okay, Ford. I think the only person that made mistakes here are you and the rest of the leaders. But we're coming for you. People like me speaking out, other people that are out on the YouTube and all that speaking out. We're coming for you guys. We're going to wake up the rest of Canada. We're going to wake up the rest of the states and the rest of the world. And we're going to start fucking taking control of this ourselves. Because that's all it is these little rich kids that keep taking the government over. And they keep screwing us and leaving us to flip the bill. Doesn't matter what it is. You pick a subject. We're flipping the bill. So let's cut these little shitheads out. Let's cut these little wussies out. Let's cut them out from the finances. They got families with billions and billions. Look at Trudeau. Comes from a billionaire family. Yet takes a salary to want to run. If you're going to run the country, you're going to take that position of prime minister, you better be prepared to sacrifice all your stuff, because that position is only for people, or at least it's supposed to be, that actually put other people ahead of themselves and don't see money as a big thing. It's to pay our bills, it's to cover our taxes, it's to make sure our education's good, our health care is good, infrastructure. That's what we need, is somebody who just wants to focus on healing and fixing whatever problems there are. We need a worker. You're not going to get a person in a suit like that, guys. I'm sorry. You're just not going to it's not going to happen, okay? Oh, the coal, the paperwork and everything is so difficult. No, it's not. All right? Number one, they don't even read the paper half the time. I would, but they don't even read it half the time. They get thrown in front of them. Oh, yeah, we're agreeing to this. And look. He doesn't actually read right there in front of the camera what it states on that paper. They could have changed something. Which is what a lot of times is why we're in this big hole. It's because they keep changing the actual plan they're signing, and then But of course, they're not even reading it. Why? Because 5 people in a room separate from them told them it was okay to sign it because they okayed it. That's the way it works. The Prime Minister, Trudeau, doesn't fucking read every document. He doesn't get up and answer every phone call. That's what his secretary's for, his personal advisor's for, his personal caretaker, the guy, the woman or guy that stands beside him taking notes about everything. That's their job. And he's got teams. Doesn't matter what branch has to have a problem or whatever, and they need him to review the results of the paperwork. Doesn't matter. He sends it to a team. That team does it, sends it back, and it's okay, and he just signs it. Oh, but what about foreign trade, Cole? How are you going to deal with foreign trade? You're not a politician. Foreign trade's easy, guys. It's the same thing with trade within your own country. It's the same thing with foreign trade. The only difference is you're not dealing with your own country, you're dealing with another, but it's a country, right? So, let's say steel. Let's say they pull 3 factories of steel out of we put tariffs, forcing their hand to put the steel back into Canada. But of course, I wouldn't even do that. To be honest, I'd say bye. See you later, China. See you later, Russia. See you later, everybody else who's got companies here. Bye. We're going to let Canada come first. You don't want to provide our steel? We'll make our own. You don't want to provide us with gas or with oil or with anything else? No problem, because Canada's got it all. We'll make our own. We'll start initiatives, incentives, and everything just to get people off the ground who know exactly how to run a business and can get these type of industries off the ground. And we're going to put it all into Canada's hands. No more reliance on any other country. We're cutting complete ties. But we can't focus our money and our resources and everything on anything we want to do, because the second we see it, it's gone the next day. Why? Because Trudeau wanted it, or NDP wanted it, or Conservative wanted it, or Liberals wanted it. When are we going to get it? When are we going to get that nice little tax break at the end of the year that says 200 some odd thousand like their tax breaks do? I mean, they wouldn't even have a job if it wasn't for us. But yet, we're the ones who only get a couple grand for our tax break, even though we're the ones putting all that money into the system, paying those salaries. We don't get a $200,000 tax cutback or a break or a little check saying, here, thanks for all your family and your bloodline and everything you've done. Thank you. We don't get that, but they can take money from us, the hard workers, and put it into a cabin that costs multi-million dollars. That's okay with people. That's okay with Canadians. I'm choosing not to believe that. I don't see how anybody would be okay with that. They take money out all the time, buy brand new cars, buy brand new jet, buy brand new helicopter. I'd like to do that at least once in my life. I'm pretty sure the rest of the workers in Canada would also like to do that for once in their life. But we can't. We can, but we're not going to, as long as we keep them in power. Now, why? Because they'll tell you, we just don't have the money. Well, maybe we should start looking at your paychecks a little bit closer there, government officials. I don't care what branch you're part of. I don't care what area you are. We're going to be taking a look at your paycheck. Because something ain't right how you're making 200-something thousand a year. And that's my money. But I can't take out a loan. I got to fight tooth and nail to take out a loan to buy a house. Do the math, folks. Doesn't add up. Just taken from their salaries. Just their salaries alone. I've done the math on this. If we just took from their salaries alone, we could give everybody a nice little tax break. My whole idea is the Prime Minister should only make $600, just to cover expenses, to cover food, to help pay rent, to help pay, to help out the family. That's all they should be making. That's the Prime Minister. Anyone below him should be making anywhere between $500 in the middle bracket, and in the lower bracket of the branches, $400. I don't think that's asking for 4 years. That's asking too much. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to put things straight. The workers should be getting the compensation. Not these people sitting in an office who don't even do anything except for maybe one day a whole month. We get to see something that they're doing. That's not what we're paying our taxes for. But sadly, that's what they're abusing it. They are abusing our money. They're abusing their positions. They're abusing our finances. This is our budget, guys. This isn't theirs. They're part of our budget because they're part of our bill. Well, it's time I think we start looking at that bill and knocking down maybe a few dollars or cents off a few things. Because we seem to be looking at education, no problem taking from that. We look at healthcare, no problem taking from that. Infrastructure, they can go without a road for a week or two or a month. So we'll take from that, right? But why don't we ever hear them say, well, you know what? Maybe as government officials, we are a bill of the people. Maybe we should cut back on us, take from us a little bit to get back to the people. But they're so corrupt. They're so just destroyed themselves. It can never happen with them in power. Why we have to elect a regular person, a regular citizen, somebody who knows what it's about paying those bills, who knows what it's about breaking and bleeding and sweating and breaking their backs and breaking their wrist, by the way. Well, I didn't break it, I fractured it, but whatever, I'm still working. These are the things that we need as a leader. These are the aspects, the core of it all that we need right now to fix all the issues that we're facing. We need to start pulling away from the rest of the world and start focusing on what we can develop, on what we can contribute, on what we can build. Canadians, Canada, we have the resources, we have the means, we have the ends, and we have the workforce to do it. So this is where the direction I would like to see the country heading in. I'd like to see police officers not being constantly worrying about their paycheck. These guys are risking their lives every day for us, and girls. And we need to make sure that their paychecks are set in stone, that their benefits are set in stone. Doctors, on the other hand, have been taking advantage of our system, of our social health care for way too long. And we need to start putting our foot down when it comes to doctors. So I think the quota system is going to come off the police officers' back, and it's going to go on the doctors' back. We're going to reverse that. And like I said, I'm going to have people come in from Japan, free of charge. I'm going to convince them to do it for free. They're going to come in and they're going to advance our schools technologically. Because sadly, folks, that's where we are today. Okay, our kids are technological geniuses. Let's harness that. Because, sure, maybe on Earth, okay, we have to worry about solar flares and this and that, but when we're out in space, you're going to be, oh my God, thankful we have this generation of technological geniuses, man. Because when we're flying around space looking for other planets, they're the ones going to be flying the ship. It's not going to be us 80s and 90s babies, okay? It's going to be the 2000-ons. They're the ones who are going to lead this space race, and we need to make sure that we can contribute to it educationally. I just don't see any reason why we have to be teaching medieval tactics and medieval, no, this is done. And as far as the teachers' attitudes, well, I have a plan and that kid doesn't go with my plan, well, then they fail. No, your job in the Educational Act, under teachers' obligations, is to make an individual plan for each individual child. Not one plan that suits you and forces it on the other children. It's not how it works. And I'm going to make sure that that law is upheld, because parents are really tired of being always accused of being the bad guys, that there must be something wrong at home, when in actuality it's just your plan isn't working. And we're done being attacked by CAS, DPG, and all these other organizations because your plan failed. Oh, but it's got to be a problem at home now. Not when I'm in charge. I'm going to make sure that Educational Act is upheld 100%. It ain't hard to do, guys. I got on the governing board at my kid's last school in Quebec. An English native. Think of that. On the governing board. Recommended by the principal, recommended by the president of the board, and by a CLSC specialist nurse. All recommended me for that seat. And I took that seat. So, and I am all about enforcing the Educational Act, because I've seen time and time again, experienced it time and time again, where teachers' attitudes get ahead of their actual obligations. And when that's done. So that takes care of those three aspects. And we're going to modernize them. So we're going to have a real team come in, because remember, Japan's 10 years ahead of us, almost, just about, when it comes to technology and advancements in education. So let's implement that. There's no reason why we all can't work together. But we got to put ourselves first for the time being. For 4 years at least. We have to fix Canada. We have to fix our budget. We have to fix what we're spending the money on, how much people are making. That's insane. And if you have over 500 million in your bank account, you should never be allowed to receive a salary as a prime minister. Sorry. That's just, that position isn't there for you to get rich. It's there for a person who actually cares about his Canadian brothers and sisters, who cares about his Aboriginal brothers and sisters. Someone who can play on the both sides, who can work together with both sides, who can stop the constant feuding and taxpayers' dollars being wasted. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. Nice little tax break, if you ask me, if we would have just settled it right, if we would have just dealt with the whole scenario properly. But it's all about this for these people. So they don't care about proper. They don't care about spending your money and how much you're working and how hard you're working and how much time you're spending away from your family to pay those bills, to pay that rent, to put the food in the cupboard. They don't care. I care. Why? Because it's us. There's no difference between me and you. I've broken the law. I've smoked weed. I've done stupid shit as a kid. I'm not a kid no more. I'm 37. And I've learned through all these experiences. And this experience, all these different aspects of life, hanging out with the rich kids, hanging out with the poor kids, hanging out with the criminals, hanging out with the science geniuses. I've been in all areas of these aspects. And I've experienced them all. It's allowed me to open up my own mind and my own eyes to what's really out there and what really needs to be fixed. So vote for Cole Holmes. Make that, write my name down, make that box and check it. If you gotta mail it in that way, mail it. I don't care how you do it, just we gotta change how we're doing things. Otherwise, nothing's gonna change. If it's not the COVID pandemic they're gonna rip us off for using, it's gonna be something else. Just that simple. And remember, 34,000 scientists and doctors are going against our leaders. That should tell you something. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead, probably watch some TV or something. I don't know, maybe hang out with my boy. If you want change, guys, got to vote for me. It's the only way it's going to work. I mean, I already have a great plan when it comes to dealing with foreign, and that's making an alliance with Russia. Then we'd own quarter of the planet. Think about that, guys. We'd own, Canada and Russia would own quarter of the planet. A planet. And we've great business deals between the two of us. Why not? They are right next door to us on the east side, and they're right next door to us on the west side. So it makes no sense why we're not allied with them yet. Why we're not doing business deals and whatnot between our two countries. It makes zero sense. But with a guy like me in charge, we can put things right. Put the money where it's supposed to go. Save as much as we can. Only spend what we need. And try to give back to the people as much as we can. Because I think for 4 years, after all the generations of our bloodlines building this country, I think we're owed that. I think they can go without their private jets and their new fancy Jaguars and their nice, beautiful fucking multi-million-dollar cabins and homes. And not just one, we're talking multiple. I think they can go without that for 4 years. Just so we can benefit for 4 years. Wouldn't it be nice to have that nice bank account at the end of the week for that guy who makes only $14 an hour? Wouldn't it be nice at the end of next year where we're like, hey, you know what, man? Here, it's time that we gave back to the people. And he goes and checks his account, and all of a sudden he's got money in there to be able to buy a car. Or to take a trip with his family. Or to do something grand for his family. Or her family. The only way we can do that too is through my job incentive. Which is fucking... We closed down the whole regulations of how strict it is to even get a job. We're going to take that away. We're going to put in something called the First Chance Act. And every company, every business, I don't care what level they're in or they're on, you're going to give that person one chance at least. And we're going to get people off of welfare doing that. And we're going to put more money into the budget system doing that. And our deficit's going to go down quicker because we're going to do that. So corporate people who are out there watching this, if you are watching this, get ready for all that to change. Because we're not going to sit by and allow you to come into our country, build your business, We fill your pockets, but yet you're going to restrict us from being able to work at your store because when I was 16, I got into a fist fight. I'm 37. It shouldn't even matter. But it does, and I can prove it because I already just went through it not long ago. Well, about a year ago I did it. I went to apply and no, can't. It's all right, but we see you have a criminal record here when you were 16, yada, yada, yada. Well, really? So I got jumped by 2 guys. I beat them up because they're French and I'm English, and this was in Quebec, mind you. I'm the one getting charged. Okay. And now you're telling me I can't even get a job, support my family, get ahead in life or nothing, or achieve greatness because now I'm going to be limited? No. This is how the welfare issue begins. And I'm going to nick it in the butt the second I get in that office. Anyways, guys, vote Cole Holmes. Vote for me for Premier, Prime Minister, one of the two. Doesn't matter. Put me in all the positions. I'll take care of all Canada. It's not hard. They make you believe it's hard, but take it from a guy who skipped 4 grades 2 in the same day and was in a genius class. It's not hard. A 13-year-old literally could do the job with proper training. I'm not even joking about that. I really wish I was, but sadly, I'm not. Because again, it doesn't just fall onto that one 13-year-old. That 13-year-old would have teams doing their own thing, covering each branch. Our job is to maintain them and watch them, observe them, make sure they're following the rules and the laws, and make sure they don't overspend on our budget. I'm the budget master, and let me tell you, our country would be saved with a guy like me in charge. But guess what? There's thousands, if not millions, of guys like me out there. They just don't have the courage to stand up and do what I'm doing. Or maybe they just don't want to be bothered with it because they feel like nothing would change. I'm going to demand change, I'm going to force change, and I'm going to use you, the people, to do it. Remember my voting app? Well, it doesn't matter what anyone says in that room in Parliament. If the people already voted and state that, yeah, they don't want it or they do want it, we all have to shut our mouths and do what you say. That's how the government's supposed to be run. So let's put it into play. Let's let us, the people, run our own government here in Canada. That's what I think would be best. Anyways, have a good day, guys. Thanks for listening. Like, share as much as possible. And don't forget, write my name down, make that box and check it. Do it to your dog, do it to your cat, do it to your mom, your dad, your uncle, your aunt, your kids. I don't care. They have a great platform. Vote for them. Just don't vote for anyone else on that list, from Green, Liberal, Conservative, nothing. Let's break away from that old system and take control of our own destiny. Have a great day, guys.